So welcome to Renwood Farms. I'm Dave Hula. We're in Charles City, Virginia today. I'm just doing a little side dressing for some duck impoundments. And you know, when we think about corn production, one of the things that on the East Coast, you know, we like to start harvesting our corn when we got a lot more moisture, you know, running about 27-28%. And reason being, we get them named thunderstorms called hurricanes. So we got to get the corn out. And when you're dealing with corn 10 to 14 foot tall green stalks, residue becomes an issue. And we started out with just a regular John Deere 608C header, and then we went and bought a folding header. Still harvest 8 rows. And we were just using the regular fluted snapping rolls. After a while, we kind of changed to a different style to see how they would handle, to where they were starting to chop up the corn into smaller segments and still leaving it into some length. Well, I was in one of the next level meetings in Iowa, and Marion Calmer was there, and I've seen him many times at some of the trade shows, and we got to talking. He said, "Dave, have you ever thought about the super choppers?" And I really hadn't given it a whole lot of thought, so I'm like, sure, I'll give it a try, because you know, you go to the trade shows and you see them where they're running their chopping rollers and it's cutting the pieces of corn into little pieces of confetti. So I'm like, you know, that probably would be good for a no-till environment, because you know, we're kind of like never till, except where we're doing a little strip tilling right now. But I thought I'd give it a try, and so Mr. Calmer sent me a set, and we just bought a new 608 folding headers, and I had the dealer put them on. And shortly after that, Mr. Marion called. He said, "Dave, I'm just not sure how they're going to handle to your tall green corn stalks." And you know, when we're cutting 14 foot tall corn at 28%, and you know, the stalk's just as green as it would be, got sap still in it. So he was a little bit concerned, and I'm like, well, we'll give it a try. And so the first couple fields, we were trying it. And man, the thing I saw was we were cutting that corn into like 1.5 to 2 inch segments. We had the super chopper, which has got 12 knives on it. And the neat thing, it wasn't requiring additional horsepower from the combine. And it's segmenting that corn stalks into little pieces. And the thing that I liked most was it was spreading that confetti across the whole 30-inch pass, and it made it so much easier to no-till wheat into that residue, because the corn was just shredded. Now, I had, of course, some concerns at first. All right, is it going to windrow it, put it, you know, kind of in the bulk? Well, it spread that residue out. The other concern, just as Marion had, was, all right, is it going to cut up that green stalk, and is it just going to deteriorate? So after the season, you know, we pulled some pretty big yields off, and they asked me to pull a couple of the super choppers off and clean them up, and even put a signature on it so he could give them out to people at some of the shows. Well, we noticed there was a couple pieces that were showing some fatigue. And you know, when you're part of a project with a smaller company, and they're so driven to making sure that their product performs, and they're asking how are they performing, what does it look like, how the knives holding up, and all that was good. And now I think they're still trying to make some improvements upon them. But it's neat to have that kind of interaction with the company. The R&D section as well as, you know, those that are trying to sell it, and even to the owner, because he's committed, obviously, to have a product that's going to work. And we have seen that, and the super choppers will be part of their program in the years to come.